I lived in Vermont only for a very short time. I was a baby when they came down to Connecticut. I was 3 months old. I had 4 sisters and 1 brother. And the baby of the family is Joan, and she's still alive, and my brother's still alive. Yep. And we were all very close. We were a large family, and not too many people wanted us around. Well, you know, I tried to tell my grandkids, all I hear from them is, oh, how bored they are. I said, when we were kids, we enjoyed playing kick the can. I'm like, oh, guess what, kids? It was a real can. Not like today, they come out with all the gear on. We didn't have any of that. My brother and I would go to the baseball field, and we would be on opposite teams because him and I, we couldn't be on the same team. And then we would, after the game, him and I would climb the backstop. You used to have backstops then. And we were so silly, we would make it sway. We would sit on top of it and make it sway. Those were the good old days. I like going to the beach, but we didn't go that often. And I like going on picnics. That was good. Short Beach in Stratford. I lived in Stratford. I grew up in Stratford. Those were good times. Everybody had big families around there. So you never had to worry who you were going to play with, even though you had your own siblings. Yeah. Well, I was a hospital core wave. We did the nursing, and we used to call the Navy nurses the key carriers, because on our wards, that's all they did was carry keys. We did everything. So it was good experience. But when I came out, they wouldn't let us take the test for LPN. So I got mad and went into electronics. I went to school at night, 4 years at night, and held down my 8-hour job. And I went to school, Connecticut School of Electronics. I was one of the first women to go through at night. So it was good. And then I became an electronics technician. And I did that for 16 years. And then my husband and I opened up a shop. And we made digital cassettes for computers. Yeah. But the computer industry started moving rapidly. They went to floppies, and then they went beyond. Yeah. So I had that shop for 14 years. It was on Hell Avenue in Shelton here, up on the 4th floor. Yeah. I met him afterwards, after I got out of the service. When I first met my husband, I did not like him. But I found out what a good man he was. So that's it. I ended up with him. He was a good man, and I loved him. And he died when he was 79, so that's like 4 years ago. And to this day, I miss him. It was a nice wedding. We had a crazy wedding. There used to be a place called, it was on the River Road, and it had picnics and all kinds of things on it. So that's where we held our reception. So during the day, they had anything they wanted to eat, hot dogs, hamburgers, and then they came into where we actually had the band and all that, and we had our dinner. It was great. And then him and I went to Hawaii. We took all the money that we got from the reception. We had to open the envelopes because we had no money. And we went to Hawaii. And we worried about what was going to happen when we got back. But it turned out great. Yeah. We were crazy. Him and I were both crazy. But we made it work. Yeah. Oh my God, it was great. But, of course, we never go by rules because he was a New Yorker. That's what he always said, he was a New Yorker. And we went to Oahu, and then we stayed there for like a week, and then we went to Maui. And to get to each island, you either took a plane or a boat. So we took the plane, we got to Maui, and we had all this gear. We had tennis rackets, we had everything hanging off us, right? We didn't use any of it, too hot. So him and I rented a car, and we decided to go sightseeing by ourselves. We rode up into the mountains, and we went on a road that the Hawaiian was behind us. We were on the side of a mountain. My husband goes, let's turn around. I go, no. He goes, yeah, I'm gonna turn around. I'll go, let me out, and if you make it, I'll get back in the car, right? But there was Hawaii behind us, and he kept yelling, no, don't get out, don't get out. We would have slid down the mountain. Honest to God, but we had a good time. It was a good time. Him and I and Brittany, this is how he tricked me into going on a cruise. I thought I was in the Navy, but I thought I would get seasick on the ship. So I told him I wouldn't go on the cruise, because when I was in the Navy, they didn't let women on the ships, okay? So I go to him, no, I'll get seasick. So he goes, okay, I'll take Brittany. Well, I thought my husband would lose her. So I said, okay, I'll go. So we went to Alaska on a cruise, and that was great. I loved it. Yeah, I saw the icebergs and all that other stuff. So he wanted to go dog sledding, but he had to take a helicopter and up to a glacier. So Brittany and him got on the helicopter. I sat on the ship reading my book, right? They took a helicopter up and they did dog sledding. And Brittany has a picture of him and her, and he's I think she's in the dog sled and he's standing. You can ask her to bring it in and show you. It's a great picture. You guys, remember, do everything you want when you're young. And you could take a trip to Hawaii the way my husband did and I did. We didn't have a pot to pee in, or a window to throw it out of, but we did it. The one that I love the most is Yellowstone. I love the animals. I love animals. It's beautiful there. I love walking on the boardwalk they have out into the endless pools and the colors of them. It's something that stays with you. Oh, Thanksgiving too. I was like Thanksgiving, even though to me it was a lot of work, but I loved it because it brought back memories of waking up on Thanksgiving morning and smelling the turkey and everything cooking. And it was a fond memory. It was one of the fondest I have of my childhood. Today the kids get so much, but I remember as a kid, if I got a coloring book and crayons, that was a lot. And that was fond memories to me. That is all pork and beef and made with, not bread, but with Royal Lunch crackers. And the only seasoning we ever used was Bell seasoning and salt and pepper, and that was it. It was good. Well, what happens is, when you're making it, you take the gizzards and the neck, and you put about that much in a pan, and you boil it. And then you take them out, and I discard the neck, and you take the gizzards and you grind it up. My mother had a grinder that was handed down from generation, which Donna now has. And you would grind that up, and you ground up onions, and then you put it back in the broth, and then you take your pork and your beef, and you cook that and that. Then you take, after that's all cooked, you bring it over and start breaking the crackers in it, mixing it up and putting the seasoning in to taste. And then you would stuff your turkey with that. You stuff the turkey, and whatever's left over, you'd serve on a plate. After the turkey's cooked, you take this stuffing out, put it in a bowl, put it on the table, and that's it. It's very good. Well, Christmas, we could have either turkey, but we used to have ham on Christmas. And now Donna has started a new thing where on New Year's, she makes us lasagna, which is very good. I remember my brother and I, we used to do this boy's paper route every time he went away, and we wanted a dog, and there was a dog that was wandering. Him and I tied a rope around him, we pulled him home, and we told my dad he followed us. The minute we let the dog loose, he went home. Yeah, I've always loved dogs. Yeah, I always had shepherds, and then I went to labs. If you have kids, a lab is a great dog for kids. They're very loving. Shepherds, you got to be a little careful with, because sometimes they're only a one-person dog. Yeah. Most of the time I let either Donna do it, I let Donna name them, or Brittany, and I always have the same name, Lady. Yeah, I always had the same name, Lady. I tried to change the name, but she wouldn't let me. I had a death dog one time, a white shepherd, and they said that I shouldn't use sign language, hand language. But I did, because I realized the dog couldn't hear. And when the dog would look at me, I'd tell her to come in. And when she wasn't looking, I could yell until, froze over. She wouldn't come in because she couldn't hear. So I'd wait and call her. And everybody thought she could hear, but she couldn't. Yeah. How we found out, my husband and I went out, and we had a raised ranch at the time. She was asleep at the top of it. So we came in the house, she never heard us. We stepped over her, she never heard us. Then I realized she couldn't hear. We went to Atlantic City one time. We went with my sister and brother-in-law. So we go, and my sister and I went down, my sister-in-law and I went downstairs. My husband was upstairs. He had given me $100. He goes, "Here, Nan, go play." Oh, good. This is good money, right? I go down and I start playing. I hit $1,100. So I had put almost $100 into the machine. So my husband comes down and I go, "If you give me more money, I'll give you this paper." He goes, "You spent that $100 already?" "Yeah." He looks at it and goes, "Oh my God." So he gave me another $100. You think that was fair exchange? So he says to me, "What machine were you on?" So I tell him, and he goes, I go to him, "That's not gonna pay out, right?" He goes, "I'm gonna go play it." $600, $1,700, and less than a half hour. Not bad, huh? But you think we went home then? No. But I didn't lose that much, so we came out ahead. I had $1,000 up at the other casino here in Connecticut. I won't ask you how much I lost, though. It was good though. Yeah. Did Brittany tell you I like this stuff? One time there was a game out and it was a 500 game. I got one ticket, I won $500 on it. So I said to my husband, go get me another one and get the money, right? I won another $500. Yep, that was my lucky day. I think I might have stepped in something out in the yard. You know what? I won $20 already. Oh, she was great. You know what? There's a strange thing that happens to you. When you hold, I don't care whose child it is, when you hold a baby in your arms, it's love at first sight. And that's the way Donna was to me. Holding them, loving them, and watching them grow, you know? It's a strange thing. You want them to talk, you want them to walk. When they start talking, you tell them to be quiet and sit down. That's life. They're the love of my life. Jackson's a character. He is like Brittany. He is Mr. Knows everybody. And Addie, she's a little pistol. She runs 50 miles an hour when she comes here. And they both get on my bed. They love my bed for some reason, either here or where I had my condo. The first thing he did is hit the bed. I love them. I have Donna that had Brittany and who had Kiara. They are the love of my life. And Brittany married Dave, he is like a grandson that I had. You know what I'm saying? He's a great man, and I have great kids. And I love each and every one of them, and they make my day. Do everything you can while you're young, because don't wait to retire. Do it now. My husband and I went to every national park there is while we could walk and enjoy it. And that's what you gotta do. And Brittany and Dave, stick together. You're two different individuals and you can't always think the same. And if you don't talk to each other, you never solve anything. And just keep loving each other. That's all. That's my advice to them. And Donna, I love her with all my heart. And I just worry that someday I have to say goodbye and leave her. I want her to remember that I love her with all my heart. And if I could, I would solve all her problems. That's it. Crazy old lady, that's me. I lived a good life with Vincent and I lived a good life. And we hope we made them happy because we were happy that they made us happy. They made our life worthwhile. That's what I want them to remember. That's it.